Welcome to Power Up Memphis. I'm your host, Gail Jones Carson, the Vice President of Community and External Affairs for Memphis Light, Gas, and Water. The aim of Power Up Memphis is to take you, our customers, on an inside tour of Memphis Light, Gas, and Water to share our programs and operations with you. And by doing so, we can all better understand how we function as your utility provider. Today's guests are Wilbur Frank Fletcher, who is the Project Management Manager in Meter Services, and our other guest is Kenneth Cup, who is the Acting Manager in Residential Customer Care. So welcome, Kenneth. We appreciate you being here with us today.
Hey, thank you.
And congratulations on your new role in the customer care service area. So tell us, Kenneth, tell us about what you do in customer care.
Okay, so we do connects, disconnects, transfers, and we do it by different channels of chats. We do them through phone calls, which is the majority, okay. And we also do it through email.
Okay, so with the chats, what kind of response time do you have with the chats?
So right now, we haven't really focused in on the chat's response time, but it's usually, I would say right now, it's roughly maybe about 10 minutes.
Okay, so to get to the chat, do they have to go to my account, MLGW My Account, or how do they get to the chat function?
So they can get to the chat functions through MLGW.com,
okay.
And then hit residential or commercial, and then down to the right side of the bottom side of the screen, there's a thing that says Let's Chat.
Oh, okay. Okay, so do we get a lot of customers who want to use that function?
We get, I'd say roughly, maybe 10, 15 chats, probably an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's good. So, okay. So one of the main concerns customers have complained about is the long wait times to speak to a customer service representative. How has MLGW worked to improve those wait times? Because I have seen numbers where there has been a significant increase in lowering that wait time. So how have you all been able to do that?
Okay, so yeah, we're focusing more on productivity. And we've set some high expectations and goals, and the service advisors, they're meeting them and sometimes exceeding them. We've also changed the way that we view our call metrics. We're looking at, in the past we've looked at only the calls per hour. So now we're looking at more of handle time, the average speed to answer, and the handle time, how long it's taking you to handle the phone call.
Oh, so it's not just me calling and you answering quickly, but you're also looking at how long it takes to get a resolution for the customer.
Right, exactly. Okay. And so in doing this, that has actually been a game changer for us. Okay. So in October, our average speed to answer was roughly about 48 minutes. Okay. And so in February of last month, we've gotten it down to 5 minutes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So is that tied directly to technology, or just I mean, really, how did you go from 48 to 5 minutes?
So it was my director, Martrice Anderson, and myself, sitting down with employees and talking with them, and also I'll say Martrice Anderson, myself, and the section supervisors. Okay. Sitting down with the employees and explaining to them what we're looking for. And when they're not meeting those goals, we're coaching them, but not in a disciplined way, but just in a way of getting you better and giving you the tools that you need to be successful in the job.
So what are some of the programs that you were doing to make the employees in the call center better able to serve our customers? Yeah,
so working in a call center environment is very stressful for the employees. So we try to do things to make it less stressful for them. One of the things, we're creating an environment where the employees would feel valued and they'd feel appreciated and empowered. Some of the things that is we have relaxed some of the departmental rules. That was some of the things that was kind of holding them back and keeping the morale low.
So they were very strict rules.
Right, exactly. And so now we're trying to listen to them. We're getting their input on things that matters most to them. We've also changed the way that our management team communicates with their employees, and also the way we communicate with each other. We're celebrating achievements by recognizing top performers, and we're developing employees who have a desire to do more than just be a service advisor in the contact center. And I promise you, I could go on and on about the positive environment that we're creating, but I just want you to know
So
that
environment really helps increase productivity and morale.
there is a correlation between performance and morale, and we're proving it right now. Which means that when our employees are taken care of, they will in turn take care of our customers.
That's great. That's really, really great.
Thank you.
So I do understand that the environment has changed so in a positive way, and that the word has gotten out so that there are former MLGW employees who want to return to MLGW because it is a company that pays well, that has good benefits, and now they're hearing about this area in which they may have worked, and that the environment has changed a great deal in a positive way.
Yes, ma'am. So I've had right now it's probably 60 employees who used to work in the department that's trying to come back.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. And there has been no employees who wants to leave now. We've only lost, I think, since I've been there, 2 employees, and it was all 2 promotions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know one came to my department.
Really?
And that's understandable. We don't want to hold people back when they're trying to move up.
Right.
So that's a positive thing. So what message would you have now that our efficiency and performance has improved? What kind of messages would you like to share with our customers who call us, who try to reach us through chat, and also who try to reach us, because we get a lot of customers who reach out to us on social media.
Yes, ma'am.
Direct messaging.
Yeah, so I want them to know, honestly, that we're getting better. We're changing things to make things better for them. And when they do call, I want them to know that we're here to serve them, and that when they get a service advisor on the line, that we're going to offer them exceptional services.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So a number of customers have been calling. So when they have high utility bills and stuff like that, do they talk to you all, or do they talk to the area that handles the on-track customers, which have extremely large bills? So how do you all help with sharing information about programs or payment plans that are available to our customers? Yeah,
so we have trainers. We actually have a new department that's for training. And so we give the employees the tools of the things to talk to the customers about that surrounding high bill complaints, and that helps the call go easier. There's like different steps that the employees will go through to get to talk the customer through a high bill complaint.
Oh, okay. So do you all also handle maybe like the businesses, commercial customers, industrial customers? Do they also call you all?
No, so we're only residential. The commercial, the Business Solution Center, they handle commercial calls.
Okay.
And if someone is watching and need that number, it's 528-4270.
Okay, so let me ask you, how many calls do you all get daily?
So we get about an average of 5,000 calls daily.
A day.
Yes, ma'am.
And how many employees do we have answering those calls?
So we have about 74 full-time employees, and I think we have 12 temporary employees, and I think like 12 retirees.
Okay, so I do know that at one point we had a lot of vacancies. How are we doing with the vacancies? We were having difficulty filling those vacancies, like companies all over the country were having problems filling vacancies.
Yeah, so right now, everybody's trying to come back.
Oh, okay.
So we posted 9 jobs, and they're all being filled.
Oh, great. So if they used to work in the area before, will the training time be less?
So the people that are coming back, the training time will be less because they know the job already.
Which is beneficial for our customers.
Exactly.
Because they don't have to be out, they can be on the floor sooner.
Right.
Providing services to our customers. So, so how many vacancies you got right now?
So right now, I think we have maybe 8 more.
8 more.
Yes, ma'am.
And
but we filled 9.
You filled 9 and you got 8 more. So they are posted on the mlgw.com/jobs website or?
So right now there's 2 externally.
Okay.
The rest of them were filled internally.
Okay. So we have a number of employees inside who want to work in the call center.
Exactly.
Is it because of the pay so good?
No, I think it's multiple things. I think it's because the environment has changed so much,
okay,
and because the pay is so good.
Yeah, so I do understand that for our call center employees, they do make very well compared to some other call centers.
Yes, ma'am, we do.
So as we close this segment of the show, Kenneth, what suggestions or recommendations do you have for people who would like to come work for MLGW?
So I would say if you're external, to watch our the job opportunity section at mlgw.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really an easy job to get into, and but if you're qualified and we test you, we'll most definitely give you a shot.
Oh, great. Oh, great. So, okay, good. Well, I do want to say that I'm happy and pleased that our customers are getting better, more efficient service, and I want to congratulate you and Martrice and your team, and actually Timothy Davis, who is the new vice president of that area, and he has brought with him many suggestions and ideas of changing the morale, changing how we deal with productivity, changing how we can be more efficient and effective for our customers. So I want to thank all of you all, and I'm hoping that our customers are very pleased with the service that you all are providing. So thank you so much, Kenneth.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me. And I also want to say none of this honestly would be possible if it wasn't for Mr. Davis coming aboard at MLGW.
Yeah, he's been great.
Yeah, he's given us the tools that we need to be successful.
He's brought a whole new perspective to providing a great workplace for employees who want to grow, who want to thrive, who want to work, who want to increase productivity because they're working in a better environment. So I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
How prepared you are for a power outage is the difference between a stressful situation and a minor inconvenience. Make an emergency plan. Pack a kit with first aid supplies, bottled water, and a flashlight, and stay informed using the MLGW outage map on your laptop or mobile device. To report a power outage, gas leak, or downed line, just give us a call. Be prepared and stay connected by using the MLGW app and follow us on social media. A little prep goes a long way. MLGW, serving you is what we do.
Thank you so much for staying with us for this segment of Power of Memphis. Our guest this segment is Frank Fletcher, who is the manager of Meter Services. Thank you, Frank, for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So, Frank, today we're going to talk about delayed billing. So, beginning in December 2022, some of our residential and commercial customers started to experience delays in receiving their utility bills. What was the cause for the delays for our customers receiving their bills?
Sure. What happened in the early part of this year, we started to find out that our gas and our water meters were not registering correctly. And so what happens is with MLGW billing, if any one of your 3 services does not bill correctly, it's held until we can get a good reading on that service that may have been delayed, whether it's the electric, gas, and water. And what we found out in the earlier part of this year again is the gas and the water were affecting customers not receiving their bills.
Okay, so why not electric? Why just gas and water?
Sure. So I brought for demonstration, we've got really 2 components that's really have been a factor. Is
this a meter?
This is actually a register on a gas meter.
Oh,
and this is how we, MLG&W, bill your consumption. what you have, and a lot of our customers by now have heard about a wriggler.
Yeah, we've learned a lot about a wriggler.
Right. This small white device is actually a wriggler.
Okay.
The wriggler is actually located on the back of the device here that rotates.
Okay.
And what this actually is a speedometer. Think about it as a speedometer on your car.
Okay.
It registers consumption.
Okay.
And when this wriggler breaks, it actually stops the usage from registering in the system.
So could you show me where the wriggler goes on the back?
Sure.
How that?
And the customer is not able to see this.
Okay.
This is actually attached on to the gas meter.
Okay.
But the wriggler goes right here in the back of this device, the register, and again, it rotates. As gas consumption comes through the meter, it rotates, which in turn rotates the dials on the meter. And this is how we go out and read the meter,
Okay. So
month to month.
Okay. So what's causing the wriggler to break?
This
is only on the gas meter.
This is only on the gas meter right now. We're in conversations with our vendor
Okay.
to determine what the cause of the breaks are.
Okay.
We're thinking it's just natural, heat and cold. This is a plastic device, so I just think over time it becomes less stable and breaks just in the operations.
So, so we just began having this problem the latter part of last year.
It really exasperated. Any meter, on average, you'll see about a 1 to 3% failure rate.
Okay.
And so this is just a mechanical device, so they fail. What we've seen is a larger number of these devices failing over last year, which again impeded our efforts in billing our customers correctly.
Okay, so now then we have a different problem with the water meter.
That's correct. And I also brought for demonstration again the register for a water device.
Okay.
And so this here is what we call a digital register.
Okay.
So this register again measures consumption. It sits on top of the water meter,
Okay.
and it registers consumptions. This is actually how we communicate. This sends out the remote communications. This is called a module.
So that's attached to the water meter.
This is attached to the water meter. So
Okay.
again, the register reads consumption. The module actually communicates that consumption back to MLG&W.
Oh, okay.
And so we found that what we're seeing on the water side is that the digital water register is actually broken as well and is not allowing the module to communicate the usage.
Okay, so are these on smart meters? Are these a part of a smart meter?
That is right. This is actually part of this module actually makes this device a smart meter device because it remotely communicates the reading back to MLG&W. This register will be on a smart device or a non-smart device.
Okay.
This is just how we read. So even if you don't have a smart meter at your home, this device, if it fails, still impedes our ability to read your meters and send you a bill on time.
So, so when we can't read the meter with the electrical device that's tied to it, do we roll a truck and send out meter readers?
That's exactly what happens. So we're unable to read these remotely. We have to send someone to your home to actually get a physical read. And while we're there, we'll recognize that either one of these two devices are not working, and we will replace it at that time. Once we replace the device and get an accurate reading, then we can send you your bill.
So is the gas meter failing more than the water meter, or vice versa?
Right now, on average, we think we have about 15,000 failed gas meters in the field and about 12,000 failed registers.
Okay.
And so we're actively replacing those devices as we speak.
Okay, so how long do you think it will take to replace all those devices?
Well, we have the manpower. We're working on getting the manpower, and we have it internally to replace these. Right now, just like everything else, we see a shortage of being able to get these from our suppliers.
The chain supply
the chain supply issues are affecting our ability to get these.
That's affecting companies all over the country.
Affecting the company, and it's affecting utilities all over the company. Again, this is not anything that's unique to MLG&W.
So other utilities are having similar, same kinds of problems.
Absolutely. Yeah, so right now we've got a special project team we assemble in January, and that project team's sole responsibility is to fix these issues. So right now we're working with our vendors to secure the devices, and also we're going to be bringing in contractors and also MLG&W employees to replace these devices as they break in the field.
Okay, so how are we handling the billing part of this?
So what we're doing right now, we actually, again, as I spoke about earlier, Typically, we don't bill a customer unless we get an accurate reading on all three services. But what we're doing now, we're going ahead and billing customers even if we do not get a read on one or two of the services, because we want customers receiving their bills on time. And what we'll do is when we receive an accurate reading, we will actually catch that up on the customer's bill. So the customer may see either water or gas. They may see more than 1 month bill on their utility bill once we replace one of the devices in the field.
Okay. Okay, great. So a customer who hasn't been receiving his or her bill for a few months, do they have to be concerned about their services being disconnected?
No. If you have not received your bill, you should not worry about MLG&W disconnecting your services, because we are aware of those customers who have not received a bill. And if you have any questions, you can actually call MLG&W. For residential customers, you can call 544-6549. Commercial customers can call 528-4270 if you have any questions about your bill.
So we also having those issues. What level are we having those issues with our commercial industrial customers?
Predominantly, the issues that we're finding on the residential side, probably about 80% of the devices that's failing is on residential, not as much as on commercial.
Okay, so let's just say a customer hasn't been receiving his or her bill for maybe 2 or 3 months, and even though they are using utility services, they've chosen not to pay their bill because they really don't know how much it is.
Right.
So then by the time we correct the bill, and by this time they may have a very high bill. So how are we working with our customers who have very high bills?
Sure. If customers experience high bills, once we do bill you, we have payment arrangements for those customers who can set those up. Again, you can call our residential call center or call our commercial call center and actually get that payment arrangement set up.
Okay, so basically just going back to the issue we're having, so it doesn't even have to be the gas and the water meter that's not registering. It could just be one of them.
It could be just one of the services. We have typically held those bills. But as I said earlier, we're actually getting these bills out. So you may see on your bill, and we encourage customers to please look at your bill. If you see zero consumption on your water or your gas, that means that most likely you're having one of these issues that I've discussed today. And what we encourage you to do, even if you have not received a bill, pay something towards that. If you know. We encourage our customers, if you have not received a bill in 2 or 3 months, pay something. Pay what you paid the last time you received your MLG&W bill. So when you get that balance, it's not so high.
Yeah, one lady I talked with who was having, she was receiving zero consumption, and she informed me that what she did was just pay what she normally paid because she didn't want to take a risk of having a very high bill after 2 or 3 months. So she continued to pay something. So how are we going to true up what the actual bill is once the meters are corrected and once we send somebody out and we correct the problem at an individual's home or business?
Sure. So what we'll do is if you pay something towards that bill, even if you have not received it, that bill will go, that money will go on a credit whenever you get your full bill. And so it will offset whatever the past due balance is. So that's why we encourage customers, please make a payment, because we will capture that payment and apply it to your bill just as soon as we get that bill released.
Okay, so say, let's just say for 3 months I haven't received my bill. At the end of 3 months, and you all fixed the meters, how are you going to know what the actual amount should have been paid? I mean, does the meter catch it up? I mean, how do you determine what should have been paid those 3 months when they were receiving when you were receiving zero consumption?
Sure. So what we'll do is, again, this only registers the consumption. The meter itself is still working, and the customer is still being billed for what the consumption is.
So the consumption is, even though the meter's not turning, we don't see numbers.
It's still consuming energy, and what we'll do is when we replace this device, this new device, at that point in time, we can get what your accurate bill is. Because what we're going to do, we're going to look at what was your past history of billing, and that's how we go about and actually correct the billing. We look at past usage, and past usage can give us what your current usage is on your meter once we make that replacement of the devices.
So when you say past usage, you maybe compare a January to a January,
right?
Or February to a February. Yeah.
And typically we look at is historical usage, and we look at, say, if you've been at your residence for a past year, we'll look at a year worth of information, because that gives us an accurate reading on what that customer may have used for that month.
Well, do you take into consideration, say for example, this February had far more cold days than last February? Do you take those kinds?
We take those things into
because
consideration.
I've had customers complaining, saying, well, I was out of town for 10 days and all of those kinds of things. How do we? I know that you compare, that you're comparing month over month, year over year, but how do you handle those kinds of complaints?
Sure, and what we encourage, again, that's why we encourage customers to make a payment. But when we have not been able to get a reading on the customer's device, that's why we go back and we do what we call estimate. We estimate the consumption of what we thought that customer might have used, and what we do, we use a conservative estimate.
A conservative. So we veer on the side of the customer.
Right, we veer on the side of the customer. We make sure we do a conservative estimate, and then once we're able to get a reading, we can true up that customer's bill.
Okay, I just want to thank you, Frank, and the team who have been working diligently, and some employees who've been working 7 days a week to try to get this problem resolved. So what are some things that you would like to suggest to our customers as we close this segment of the show? Sure.
We always encourage customers to please look at your bills, especially utility bills. A lot of customers just get the bill and they just say, I'm just going to pay, they go pay the MLG&W bill every month. But take a look at your bill, because your bill will have usage in each category, electric, gas, and water. And if you see a zero read on consumption, that means that you probably do have an issue going on with one of your, either the register or what we talked about, the Wriggler on the gas meter. So look at your bill. If you have any concerns, again, call MLG&W and we'll get that situation taken care of just as quick as we can.
Now, what number do they need to call?
Sure. Residential customers, again, 544-6549. Commercial customers, 528-4270.
Okay, Frank, thank you so very much for being with us to discuss the issue of delayed billing that some of our customers have been experiencing for a couple of months or so, and we appreciate you sharing that information with us. Memphis Light Gas and Water strives to be a good corporate neighbor, and one of the ways we do that is by giving back to our community. Every year, MLGW employees have an internal campaign to raise money to support the United Way of the Mid-South. In 2022, employees were able to raise $635,254.75. The money raised was from employee donations only, not from the company. At the March 15, 2023 Board of Commissioners meeting, MLGW presented United Way President and CEO, Dr. Kenneth Robinson, with a donation check. Another way MLGW serves our community is by partnering with the Mid-South Food Bank to help combat food insecurity. On April 18, 2023, MLGW will host its first mobile food pantry of the year at Macedonia MB Church in Boxtown from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thank you so much for allowing us to share with you some of the ways that we are giving back to our community.
Share the Pennies needs your change to make a change. You can help ease the burden of a neighbor in need of home weatherization repairs. Your small change is all it takes to make a big difference. You may choose to opt out anytime, but for less than $12 a year, why would you?
I'm in.
I'm in.
We're in.
For more info, visit our website or call 544-6549. All you have to do is care.